You are listening to the Bright Life Podcast, all about ways to stay inspired, chase your dreams, and find more gratitude in the highs and lows of the journey. I'm your host, Jessica Johnson. I'm a business owner, a part-time digital nomad, a self-growth junkie, a believer in other big-hearted women, and am all about sharing tips, tricks, lessons learned, and encouragement so we can all live our biggest, brightest lives. You ready? Let's do this. Hey girl, welcome back to today's episode. So for the next few weeks, I thought it would be fun to give a little mini preview of each chapter of my brand new book, Your Bright Life. Get clear on what you want, overcome self-doubt, and bring your dreams to life, which is on Amazon. It's on Audible. I even narrate the audio version, and it's also on the Barnes & Noble website, depending on what you prefer. Now, obviously in the book and in the audiobook, you get a whole section on each of these topics. So with my podcast, I don't want to duplicate what's in the book. There you can find a ton more information, ideas, stories, lessons learned, embarrassing memories along the way to uncovering each of these topics. But I thought it would be fun in honor of the book release to just give like a little sampler teaser and something that complements the chapter. So if you're into this, you can go and read the book for more of the action items and practical steps and stories. But this is just like a little tiny taste of what each chapter covers, starting with the first chapter, which is about dreaming. So I talk about dreaming and start the book off with helping you get clear on whatever your vision for your biggest, brightest life looks like, because in my experience, that's where it all starts. If you cannot envision what you desire, it becomes really hard to be able to go after it and even call it into your life. So today I have a few quotes that really have changed my perspective on dreaming, and I think will give you some encouragement as well. If you've ever been told by friends or family or colleagues, not to go for something so big, not to rock the boat, who are you to want such a thing? This episode is really speaking to you, and it's going to just give you some encouragement that actually those instincts you feel to dream and want more are absolutely sacred and are given to you for a reason and are your superpower. So here's the first thing to take with you. And that is, don't let anyone tell you your dreams are too big. Your imagination is your superpower. So think about it this way. If you have ever had something you've achieved in life that you couldn't imagine for yourself, you've probably sabotaged out of it in some way, right? Whether it's in a relationship, maybe the love felt too good to be true, and so you probably did some funky things to kind of get back to your baseline. Maybe in your health or fitness journey, have you ever achieved this amazing shape and you've gotten to your goal, and then all of a sudden you've kind of let life creep in or realized you felt a little bit more comfortable in another space? Maybe even in business, it's been hard for you to picture achieving a certain income goal or being this business owner that can touch the lives of thousands or millions of people. Have you noticed how your life always kind of tracks along whatever you can imagine is possible for yourself? So that's why I want you to start thinking of imagination as not this frivolous fairy thing that you can just go get lost in your daydreams, but it's really your superpower. Your imagination sets the container almost for what your life can become. So why wouldn't you want your imagination to go even bigger? And why wouldn't you want to stretch those limits as far and wide as they can possibly go? Fill your daydreams with the things that you truly desire and believe are possible for yourself, because what you think about and repeat consistently is what you're going to believe about yourself and your future and your capabilities. So why not make it as big as possible? We all know that life is hard enough. It's hard enough to hit those goals in business, to be able to maintain the relationships, friendships, health, whatever those goals are. It's hard enough on the way to achieving them, right? So why would you impose limitations in your own mind that already set you up behind? If you listen to the recent podcast episode I recorded with my friend Keisha, she talks about how you can trust yourself to handle disappointment if your dreams don't come true, but can you also allow yourself to access joy in the waiting and in the in-between phase? So that's a really great one to listen to if you haven't already, but it kind of touches on this where you can already manage whatever comes along the way. So why not fill your dreams and your potential with the highest possibilities, knowing you can handle whatever comes, but can you also go the distance in picturing what's possible for yourself? Can you let yourself feel safe in that and ease into it? And that's really what dreaming is about. A second quote that I love is from this book called A Happy Pocket Full of Money, and it's that life is images of the mind expressed into physical form. I love this because how often do the things that you think about all day become the life that you live? If you think about getting a degree, becoming a doctor, that eventually has a way of becoming the life that you move into. If you have a dream of 2 children and a fulfilling family life, that becomes the direction that you move toward. If you are in a 9-to-5 and you start to daydream about being a business owner and having your own business and message and income, you start to steer yourself in that direction. So all the things that you think about and daydream about in your day-to-day become, in one way or another, the life that you live. Now, I'm not saying it's that simple where you simply think it and poof, it appears. Of course, that's not the way the world works. But the direction that you tend to let your mind wander in tends to be the direction that your life reflects. And so I want you to play with that and take heart in this quote, knowing that if you have this really active imagination, or if there's things that you want but you don't know how to get there, just a little permission to allow your imagination to be part of the magic and to let your life become those images of the mind. So the quote again is, life is images of the mind expressed into physical form. Just play with this one. When I read it, it took me a few days to really mull it over and see how many ways I found it to be true in my own life. So even start to notice in your own life, think about the things that you think about a lot, and then think about how your life looks, whether it's in your business, your health, your relationships, your education, and start to play with shifting those dreams and see how your life starts to shift along with that inner world of your mind. The third quote that I love, and this one is actually in the book, it's from the book, The New Psycho-Cybernetics, and it says, a human being always acts and feels and performs in accordance with what he imagines to be true about himself and his environment. Imagination sets the goal picture, which our automatic mechanism works on. We act or fail to act, not because of will, as is so commonly believed, but because of imagination. Now, in this book, they were referencing how whenever people have a goal, let's say in fitness, you can only really become and hold that person to the degree that you can believe it's possible for yourself. So if you, let's say, go out and to achieve this amazing goal, but you don't really believe that you're someone who achieves goals like that, or there's something in your nervous system that says it's not safe to be someone with this success, visibility, money, love, happiness, joy, whatever it may be, that you're going to find a way to get back to whatever you believe is actually possible for yourself and your life. And so I loved the way they put it, because I believe there's so much truth in we act or fail to act not because of will, as is so commonly believed, but because of imagination. You tend to act and feel and perform in accordance with what you imagine to be true about yourself and your environment. So I would encourage you, if you have this blank slate where you can dream up a new future for your career, for your relationships, for your health, for your life, for your home, just start to play with what that looks like, knowing that your imagination is your superpower. And if you want help in that, then definitely check out my book, Your Bright Life, which again, you can find on Amazon or on an audiobook on Audible. And it really helps you go through a few exercises to dream up whatever your version of your brightest life looks like, coming from the experiences I've had where I had no idea what my passion was for a good chunk of my life. I wanted so badly to be someone who knew what they wanted to go after, and I just didn't know what to go after. I didn't feel any particular thing feeling like the exact right path or calling to me. And so in my own life, I had to learn, how do you get clear on what you want and what your version of your bright life looks like? And so that's what this first chapter is about, is it really sets the stage for how you even begin to do that. And if it's something you haven't felt forever, kind of how to work through some of the beliefs that your brain may have in the back of your head, some of the lies you may be telling yourself or hearing from society, and then a few exercises where you can really start to dream up whatever your bright life looks like. All right, so check out the book on Amazon if you haven't already. If you've already gotten it, would you please leave a review on Amazon? Reviews help new authors and new books so much on the behemoth that is Amazon, especially because this is a self-published book without a major marketing engine or publisher behind it. So this is like a community effort getting this book visible and in the hands of others. So if you could take 1 minute to scroll down to reviews on Amazon and write a review on this book's page, that would mean the world to me. I read every single one. So I hope that this episode gives you some ideas, some quotes that you love, and reminds you that if you've ever been told you dream too big, you want too much, who are you to think this or that you can internalize this message that no, your imagination is your superpower. It's what makes you magic. You may have always sensed that in some way, and I want this episode to really confirm that what you've sensed to be true absolutely is for you. Your imagination is your superpower. Thank you so much for listening in. If this episode resonated with you, I have something you are going to love. Check out brightlifepodcast.com, where you can download a free Bright Life Biz Starter Kit full of the steps that helped me go from a 9-to-5 to starting a business, creating more freedom, and finding fulfillment as my own boss. I hope it supports and inspires you further. Thank you so much for being here, and I will chat with you again next week.